I just got home from a walk and I had the most mind-blowing inner conversation about anxiety and fear. It's almost like I don't know how to explain it. It felt more like a download. So when I got home, I thought I need to write this down before I forget it, because this is huge. But then I thought, no, I'm going to actually record it, because this message, this insight, is not just for me. So I have no clue how long this video will be, but if you are tired of letting fear and anxiety run the show for you, if you are determined to just show it who's boss, you are going to invest the time it takes to listen to this message, because it might be the exact thing you need right now. This is, I don't know if anyone else have talked about this, but for me, this is an entirely new and fresh perspective about my anxiety that just instantly changed everything. Like 1 hour ago, I felt a completely different way about my anxiety and fear than I do now. I feel so good about it. I feel even grateful for it now. And how crazy is that? Okay, so where do I even begin? Well, I am on the way back to returning to the happiest version of me. I'm all about that mind-body connection and using our minds on purpose to live the life we want, to experience the feelings, the emotions we want to have. Because I know now that it all starts in our head, and that when we choose what we focus on and the way we focus on it, we choose our experience, because that directly tells our body the emotion we want to have and the focus and outlook on life we want to have, right? So a couple of years ago, I used this when it was new knowledge for me. I used it to the fullest, and honestly, I became the happiest person I knew. If you have been following me for a while, you already know this, so I'm sorry, but if you're new here, just to give you a bit of a context, this entire channel is about me returning to that person, the happiest person I know. Because what happened after a while is that I just forgot to use everything that I learned, and I let my autopilot mind run the show again. And then suddenly I woke up one day and I wasn't the happiest person I knew anymore. So I'm returning to that, and I'm sharing everything I know about that so that you can also utilize it. But then what happened not so long ago was the fact that I noticed some anxiety and fear of getting anxiety sneaking back up on me, right? Because I have experienced that before. Many, many years ago, I was very ill. For 5 years, I was very ill. And that made me stay at home a lot, because I was not wanting to feel ill or get ill when I went out to do stuff, right? So I just went to work, and that's basically what I did. And in turn, that trained and wired my brain into letting me know that the safest thing for me is to stay at home, because if I get sick, I'm at home. No worries, right? And so that led to some sort of anxiety when leaving the house to do stuff, because my body, even when I got well again, my body just remembered what I taught it, which was stay at home and you're safe. Out there, things can happen. You can feel bad, and you don't want that. So so it's better to stay at home. So then sometimes when I left the house, I got anxiety because my body and my brain remembered that, right? But it wasn't like a big deal. And with time, that also vanished as I came to be the happiest person I know, because this focus and this mind work really affects everything, my energy, my body, my health, everything. So it vanished and I was fine. But then once I started falling back into old patterns, I found this anxiety sneaking up on me again. Sometimes when leaving the house, waiting for the bus or the boat or whatever, and I could feel these physical symptoms in my body, and I immediately recognized these symptoms from the time when I was sick and afraid to leave the house, yeah? And I've been thinking about that lately because I noticed it and I started thinking, well, I will not let this keep me at home again, because I am on the return to becoming the happiest me. And this is not fitting into becoming the happiest version of me, to let my anxiety and fear hold me back from experiences and things that I want to do, right? So I decided to delve into that and find ways to do it anyway, to leave the house, to do things, even if I had anxiety. And a while back, I posted a video about this, what I learned from Eckhart Tolle and The Power of Now, where he teaches that the moment we become present and notice what's going on in our body, because what we often do when we have fear or anxiety is that we try to distract ourselves from that because we don't really want to feel it. It's a lousy feeling. If you have any fear or anxiety, you know that. It's kind of the worst feeling, right? So I learned, I'm not going to talk a lot about that because you can check out that video. It's a very good video. It's a very good message from Eckhart Tolle. But to sum it up, he taught me that I'm not supposed to sit at home and wait and work on myself until my anxiety disappears and then I can go out and live the life that I want. I need to feel the anxiety and do it anyway. And these teachings that I gained from Eckhart Tolle, they showed me how I could do it anyway, even if I felt that fear and anxiety. So if you want to see more about that, just check that video out. But the thing is, I kept doing that, and I coupled that with the teachings from Joe Dispenza as well, because I've been reading a lot from Joe Dispenza and learning about how old habits literally keeps our body stuck in the past, because we just make it relive and re-experience old things each and every day because of the habits we keep staying in. So I coupled this knowledge from Eckhart Tolle with the knowledge from Joe Dispenza and breaking habits. So I started doing a lot of things to just make room for new experiences in my life. And one of the things is going for walks like I just did now. I keep going, even just around my neighborhood, but looking for new streets, new paths, just making sure that I have new inputs each and every day, seeing new things just to show my mind and my body that I am more than my old habits. Look, here's a new thing, here's a new experience, here's a new sight, because I know how that rewires my brain to see more possibilities, and the fact that if I want new experiences in my life, I need to feed it new stuff. So this just looking for new things and breaking up my little habits, trying to do things differently, is just a way of priming my brain into seeing that we can do new things and they are not dangerous. We can try new things, we can change things up a bit, and that will leave room for the unexpected and new. Because new experiences is not found in our habits, right? And so I've been doing a lot of things to keep expanding my horizon, even if I feel that fear and that anxiety that wants me to stay at home, or that wants me to stay in my old habits and my comfort bubble. And I've been saying no. I have learned that this is not the best way for me to go, so I will change things up a bit and I will go out and I will do things. I will feel my fear, I will feel my anxiety, and I will do it anyway. I've been great at doing that. I have been out there collecting evidence to tell my anxiety, you see, I did it and I didn't die. I didn't get sick. Nothing bad happened. I made it. Because I know that the only way to conquer this anxiety is to show it who's the boss. If we let our anxiety keep us stuck where we are because that's more comfortable, well, it's more comfortable in the long run. No, it's more comfortable in the short run, but in the long run, that lets the anxiety win. Because each and every time we stay at home, because of fear or anxiety, or we don't do things because of fear and anxiety, that is telling our entire system, I stayed at home, I didn't do it, and therefore I was safe, which can only mean that the opposite, me actually doing the things that I want, is unsafe. So in the long run, it's letting the anxiety win, and I'm very aware of that. So I have been pushing myself to do things even if I'm anxious. And I've been doing that for many weeks now. So this morning I was enjoying my morning coffee and I was reflecting on this fact. Well, why am I still experiencing this anxiety then? I'm doing a lot of things that I know is supposed to show me that everything will be fine and I can do things even if I have anxiety. And I have been feeling better about it in the way that I experienced these small wins, right? Like I did it anyway. But the anxiety hasn't vanished. So that was what I was questioning. And I was thinking, is this proving me wrong? Is this proving me wrong in what I mostly believe, which is that the more good stuff I do for myself, the more I choose the good path, the good feeling path, the more I will get to feel good about. So in short, the better I feel, the better I will feel. This is the main recipe for life for me. This is everything I've learned summarized, and this is everything I'm trying to remind myself of summarized, because that is what made me into the happiest person I knew back then. So now I'm like, well, I have been doing good stuff. So why am I not feeling amazing yet? I'm also very, what's the word in English? I don't have a lot of patience, as you might see. So I was like, after 6 weeks, why am I not completely fine yet? But then I started challenging this thought, because I have at the same time been having this small feeling in my gut that this anxiety has been coming back to me lately for a good reason. And I mean for a good reason, as in teaching me something good. I can't explain it, and I couldn't really grab a hold of it, but I have been having this kind of belief that everything that happens to me now, because of the fact that I do believe the more good I do for myself, the better I will feel and the more I will get to feel good about. I think because of me returning to that belief, that also puts me in this very positive mind state that everything that happens to me is happening for a good reason. It will help me or expand me in some sort of way, if you get what I'm saying. So when I remembered that, I started challenging this belief. Like, okay, what if it's not proving me wrong? If I do believe what I do believe, then how can this fear and anxiety that has returned to my life lately, how can that be good news for me? How can that be helpful to me in any kind of way? And that's when I took myself out for a walk, because these walks have been doing so much good for me, and that's when I kind of clear my mind or talk to myself in the best way. So I went for this walk with this question in my mind. If I really believe that now that I'm doing only good stuff for myself, everything I get in return is also good for me, how can this fear and anxiety then be good for me? And then this is where I need to try to really focus to share what I gained from asking that, because that's when I just felt like this download, this message just came to me, and I could see everything so clearly in just a short amount of time, and it's still running around in my head because I'm left in awe of this. So bear with me, because I don't know if I will be able to communicate this clearly, but I have to try. So, I think the message sounded something like this. Well, what you are doing these days in returning to the happiest version of yourself is really revisiting and learning even more about the mind-body connection, right? Because everything I preach on here and everything I live by and everything I'm trying to remind myself of is the mind-body connection. The fact that everything I feel, how my body feels, how my mental health feels, how my physical health feels, what I am experiencing, and how I look at my life, it all comes from and starts with my mind, as in my thoughts. And then those thoughts are giving messages to my body, to my energy, to my surroundings, what I want more of. And it doesn't matter if I actually want more of it. It works in a way that what I focus on and the way I focus on it is what tells my system I want more of this, even if it feels bad. As long as I keep thinking it, as long as I keep focusing on it, that is telling my body I want more of this, even if I don't. So, my quest in returning to the happiest version of me is actually even more returning to an even happier version of me, because each and every time I do this, I focus on this, I learn new stuff, I see new connections, and I can understand things in an even better way, right? So, the message said, nothing can actually show you in a more direct way the mind-body connection than fear and anxiety. And I was like, what do you mean by that? And I know I'm talking to myself there, or at least some version of myself, I guess. So I started questioning that, or I needed to kind of dwell on that for a bit. And then I saw, yes, nothing can provide a clearer relation between the mind and the body than anxiety. If I think about it, like really, what does anxiety do? Shaking the camera. It starts with a little small thought. Maybe it is something in our surroundings that reminds us of something that makes us feel uncomfortable. And then our mind picks up on that and starts giving thoughts about that. And those thoughts will tell the body, start sweating, or raise the heartbeat, feel nauseous, feel dizzy, whatever kind of symptoms we're having when we have anxiety. This is a very direct and instant example of the mind-body connection. Because even if it starts with our nervous system reacting to something in our surroundings that reminds us that this is danger, or this has been danger in the past, it's our mind that picks up on that. Our mind is a part of the nervous system. It's connected and it speaks directly with the nervous system. So our mind then goes in and says, alert, alert, alert. Engage the part of the nervous system that puts you in this high alert state. This fight or flight response engages in our body. And then we feel bad. We feel really bad. And then that feeling in turn affects our next thought. And that's how we spiral and maybe even get a panic attack or whatever will be the outcome of that anxiety. So I was like, okay, I see this. This anxiety, this fear is really showing me in the clearest way possible how powerful this mind-body connection really is. So I'm getting hands-on direct knowledge about this mind-body connection that I am indulging in, that I am wanting to learn as much as possible about. And I also want to be coaching people. I am a certified coach and I want to use that to the fullest. So this knowledge and this personal first-hand experience of anxiety and fear will leave me in an even better spot of understanding what people are going through and being able to guide them also with my own experience. So it's not just something I read about. I've actually felt it in my body, and I'm doing things each and every day now to move beyond and past that. So that is one thing I learned on this walk, that my fear and anxiety is giving me good, is giving me something that I've asked for in this moment. And also, this is where I understood that my anxiety is not something that is not aligned with me growing and expanding into this even happier version of myself that I need to conquer. No. This is when I saw that my fear and anxiety is kind of a coach or a mentor that helps me achieve the growth that I want. Because what happened when I went from being the happiest person I knew to then waking up one day and not feeling very happy or content at all? Well, the thing that happened was that I stopped using all of the things that I know about my mind-body connection. And I went back to letting my old habits and my old thought patterns, autopilot thoughts, run the show again. And they are never feeling good. So I started feeling bad. That's what happened. I forgot to use what I knew, or I couldn't be bothered to use what I knew, right? What is this fear and anxiety now doing? It is making it impossible for me to forget about the mind-body connection. It is making it impossible for me to not choose to tend to how I feel, to tend to how I think, because the feeling of fear and anxiety is so unbearable. It is so unwanted in my day-to-day experience that I have come to the point where I'm just refusing to stay at home and feel bad because of me having anxiety. So it is reminding me and actually coaching me, pushing me each and every day to remember about the mind-body connection, to go outside for a walk when I feel bad, because I don't want to feel bad. Whereas instead, in my earlier days, if I was feeling bad, I would be like, yeah, I should go for a walk right now, but I'm feeling tired. I don't really feel like doing anything. I'm in a lousy mood, whatever. I'll just stay here on the couch. But now, that is also making me feel so uncomfortable, because if I stay at the couch, I will be like, oh, I can't believe that I'm feeling anxiety again. I can't believe that this is holding me back from doing what I want. And then I won't feel better by staying on the couch, because I will be feeling my anxiety or thinking about my anxiety. So now it's so uncomfortable that it pushes me to go outside, and every time I go outside, I feel better. It's as easy as that. I feel better each and every time I go out for a walk. So that's one of the things. The other thing it has done for me is it has made me start each and every day with practicing gratitude again, because that was one of the things that paved the way for me when I became the happiest person I knew. I started every morning writing down all of the things I was grateful for, and that instantly lifts my energy, lifts my focus, lifts my mood, and it's impossible to feel bad when you are grateful. But then, after a while back then, that started feeling like homework, or that, oh, I need to wake up 15 minutes earlier in the morning to do this, and I can't really be bothered. So I fell off that train. But now, since my fear and anxiety is so uncomfortable, I can't stand having that feeling and also trying to become the happiest version of me. So even if I don't feel like it, even if I have a lousy morning or a very tired morning, I sit my ass down and I think about and I list all of the things I can be grateful for, and it helps me every day. Third thing it has done for me is letting me experience so many more wins in a day than what I did when everything was just fine and normal. Because the thing is, if you have anxiety and you decide to go do whatever it is you truly want to do, even if and alongside with feeling that anxiety, you experience a double win. The first win is the thing that you actually wanted to do. And then the second win is seeing that, wow, I actually did something that felt uncomfortable, that made me feel fear, that I was frightened to do, and I did it anyway. So now this is a double win for me, because in this moment I am training my mind, I am training my energy, my body, my brain to see that unknown and uncomfortable does not mean danger. It means possibility. It means opportunity. So here is when, on my walk, when I understood that having this fear and anxiety and doing things anyway to go out and collect evidence that my anxiety won't kill me, nothing bad will happen, each and every time I go and collect that evidence, I open new parts of my mind. I create new pathways that primes my entire system to go do things and take paths, even if they seem uncomfortable, even if they're unknown, even if they're out of my comfort zone. So my anxiety is coaching me and pushing me and teaching me to leave my comfort zone each and every day. And that is one of the best things we can do for ourselves if we want to expand our lives. If we want to create new experiences, we need to leave the comfort zone. Before my anxiety, before my fear, I didn't leave the comfort zone as much as I should or wanted to because I was too comfortable. So nothing really changed, but I was feeling okay, you see? But now that I'm not feeling okay, I'm feeling so uncomfortable with also staying in my comfort zone that it pushes me to leave it. And that is a double win, because that is priming my mind to also see the unknown and grasp it and claim it as opportunity instead of danger, instead of something to be avoided. So even without my anxiety, even if and when I come to the day where my anxiety is no longer there, I have trained my mind then, because of this anxiety I'm having now, to leave my comfort zone, to do things anyway, and that gives me new experiences, new wins in my life, which is awesome. It is awesome. My anxiety has also pushed me into doing something that I've always wanted to do but never really found myself doing, which is to meditate. Because with everything I know about my mind, my thoughts, my energy, I know that finding ways to quiet the mind, especially with anxiety, because the mind is running wild and running free with anxiety, I know that calming the mind is one of the best things I can do for myself. But I've also been always finding it very hard to meditate because of my overactive mind. So I haven't been good at setting aside time to do that. But now, because of the fact that my anxiety is making me feel so uncomfortable and that I really have this fighting energy in me, like I'm going to show you who's boss. You are not the boss of me, I am the boss of you. It has also pushed me to take 30 minutes every time before I go to bed, I put on a guided meditation for 30 minutes. And even if my mind is babbling for the first 15 minutes, I gain something from it every time. And I go to bed feeling calm. And what I know, what I have known for a long time, with everything I've learned about this mind-body connection, is the fact that what I do and how I feel in the morning, and what I do and how I feel in the nighttime before going to bed, is putting the framework towards how I feel about my day and how I feel about my life. Because of momentum behind our thoughts. So if you start the day feeling bad, it snowballs into more feeling bad, and vice versa. And if you go to bed feeling bad and then you fall asleep, you wake up the next morning, and what you will first remember is how you felt before you went to bed. So that feeling good before falling asleep is also crucial to make it easier for your mind in the morning to feel good too. So my anxiety has led to me feeling better in the morning because I choose gratitude practice. My anxiety pushes me to use gratitude practice in the morning. And it pushes me to feel better before I fall asleep by meditating. And these were things that was something that I wanted to do when I didn't have anxiety. And I knew how beneficial it would be. But I was also a bit too comfortable not doing it because everything was fine. So I can sum it up like this. On my walk with this download or this inner talk with myself, I realized that my anxiety is not a challenge to overcome, to return to the happiest version of me. It's actually my personal mentor, my personal coach, guiding me, pushing me to expand bigger and faster, because it makes it unbearable for me to stay stuck where I am. So my anxiety is actually teaching me my power. My anxiety, I'm getting chills right now. My anxiety is reminding me how powerful I am. Because if anxiety, as in mind-body connection, can make me feel this bad, it simultaneously tells me I can have the same experience, but opposite, once I learn how to make myself feel good. If these thoughts can make me feel this bad and stay away from the things that I want in my life, once I truly get to know it, once I truly befriend my thoughts, and the more I make it my focus now to feel good, my mind also has the power to make me feel more amazing than I ever thought was powerful. No, my mind must also have the power to make me feel better than what I ever thought was possible. Because it's not any different. It just goes to show that the stronger focus and reaction up here, the stronger the physical reaction. Our thoughts will always provide a matching physical reaction, biological reaction. So the more powerful, high vibing feelings I can provide with my mind, the more powerful biologic, chemical, physical response will my body give me. And it wouldn't be possible for me to expand and grow this much in such a short amount of time that I'm doing right now if it hadn't been for my fear and anxiety. And the fact that I am choosing not to let it control me. I am going out and searching for all the ways that I can collect evidence that my anxiety doesn't have to control me, doesn't have to hold me back. I will feel uncomfortable and I will do things anyway because this feeling is so unbearable that I will do almost anything to feel better. And I would never find the power to do so much good for myself if it hadn't been for me feeling this bad, you see. My anxiety is accelerating my personal growth. It is my personal coach. It is my mentor. It is my guide. And I was realizing at this walk, when I had this experience, that I cannot see a single thing that could lead to me growing any faster than what I am doing right now. Because that was the moment when I stopped thinking about, oh, I don't like having anxiety. Why do I have it? Why did it return to me? Why do I have to have this feeling so much? That's when I stopped focusing on those kind of thoughts and I actually opened for the question, what has it done for me in a positive way? And then and only then could I see how much I have changed and how much I have grown and how much how much good I have done for myself in these weeks by choosing, by remembering everything I know that can make me feel better and pushing myself to leave the comfort zone and pushing myself to utilize all of these things that I know will make me feel better. That is hard to choose when we feel too comfortable, because everything acquires something from us. If you're going to go for that dream job or use your body to work out or go for walks or meditate or practice gratitude or focus on only good feeling thoughts or challenging your negative beliefs, that acquires that you do something differently. So it acquires some sort of energy from you. And when we are too comfortable, it is hard to give it that energy. It is hard to push ourselves to do that. But sometimes we just get help. Something happens that pushes us. And for me, I realized this is it. My anxiety, my fear, it came to me. It came back to me as a gift to accelerate my growth. And I know now that I have done more good for myself in the past 6 to 8 weeks because of and alongside with this anxiety than I have been doing for years. And that is beautiful. But that's the thing though. You have to reach the point where you will not and cannot let the anxiety or the fear run the show. Because once we just listen to that voice and we take it for granted and we take it as truth, we stagnate, we get stuck. We stay at home or we don't do stuff to feel more comfortable. And that will feel more comfortable right there and then. But it trains your mind to keep doing that. And it will only accelerate the anxiety because you are letting the anxiety win every time. And that teaches your mind-body connection that it's safer for you to let the anxiety win. But you know this is not true. You know how bad it feels even to not do the things you want to do because of that anxiety. Yes, your shoulders might drop because you don't have to do that uncomfortable thing, but you also have this underlying voice making you feel bad because you want more from life. You want more for yourself. So if you dare to choose to go out and collect the evidence that my anxiety is not truthful, this is not the truth I have to listen to, I will go out and I will collect evidence of the opposite. I will show my mind-body connection that it won't hurt me. Maybe I will feel a bit bad, but in the end I will feel so much better because I double-winded. I conquered it. And when I did that, I created a new experience and I trained my system to become stronger. I left my comfort zone, and that will prime me to continue to leave my comfort zone. And as long as I keep doing this, there will come a day where my life is more expanded and bigger and better than I even know that is possible right now. Take the leap and have faith that maybe that anxiety, that fear is there to help you, and open for the question, if this is true, how are you here to help me, anxiety? If this is true, how are you here to help me, fear? And see what comes to you. I never opened for that question until now. And 1 hour later, I'm feeling grateful. I'm in awe of my anxiety because nothing has provided me with the energy and the courage I needed to really open myself up to life. And that is so opposite from how we are used to thinking about anxiety, because it's opposite of what we are used to doing with anxiety. We are used to listening to that anxiety and letting it give us less life in our life. But what if it's there to make us get more out of life? What if it's there to teach us, to remind us how powerful we are? Because if we can let these kind of thoughts lead to this kind of response, what happens if we just change it a bit? What happens if we leave the comfort zone and rewire our mind with new experiences and teach it, train it to see the unknown as opportunity and possibility instead of danger? Anxiety will do that for you if you just let it. And you can start small. Rome wasn't built in a day, but just start small. Because remember, even if you have debilitating anxiety, that is probably because it started small. And the momentum grew because every time you stopped doing things or stopped leaving the comfort zone due to that little anxiety, you helped it grow. Each and every time we let it win, we help it grow. Even if it feels comfortable in the moment, we help it grow. That also means that if you start small, you will help it diminish. Because everything works in momentum. You have built up the momentum of your anxiety. I have built up the momentum of my anxiety. But now I'm choosing to build up the momentum of me leaving the comfort zone, looking for evidence of the opposite, providing and giving and opening up for more life in my life. And then that momentum will build, and there won't be room for both of them in the end. Thank you, anxiety, for teaching me this and for pushing me to leave my comfort zone. And I know now, I feel now that one day I will have experienced or done or accomplished something major, and I will know that my anxiety helps me do that. Wow. Now I have to stop recording and listen to this because I don't remember anything I just said. So I'm hoping that you gained something from this and that I will remember this now, because this is massive. What if anxiety is there to expand us instead of shrink us? We have just been misunderstanding. We have just been looking at it the wrong way. We have been focusing on it the wrong way. What happens if we change it up? I think great things. And also, in my latest videos, I have been opening for you guys to send me letters because I want to start coaching in some sort of way and connecting with you guys more on a personal level. So check out the description if you want to do that as well. And then I pick some letters and I coach them here on this channel. So it can be about fear, it can be about anxiety or anything, because if you're new here, this channel is not about anxiety. It's about utilizing the mind-body connection to find the happiest version of you. And anxiety is just one of the many things that belongs in the mind-body connection, right? But it's a major thing. So write me if you want to, and if you gained something from this, please summarize what you gained, because I feel like we need a mantra or this summarized sentence to remind ourselves of this, because I feel like this is more powerful than I'm even able to understand in this moment, if you get what I'm saying. Yeah, enough for me today. Thank you for being here.